Hello, it's me. I should probably... I need to turn the audio up. That's... Oh my god. Why are you so big? Something is going on, man. And I couldn't tell you what it is. Beetle. You know it. God, I love a beetle. Right, I need to turn the in-race music off. Is it just me or is the game really fucking quiet? No. SRT is its own brand again? I did not, because I haven't really played FH6 all that much, to be honest. I literally jump on, do the daily objective, and then, like, call it there. Why is it now so bright? Never understand this thing. 135 is a number. It sure is. I've got an idea. I am probably going to do some... I'm going to start with some multi-class with the AI, I think. Anyone is welcome to join if you so feel like it. A man has taken his son to see a marching band. He sure has! I'm going to do an 8-lap race. We're going to have a roll-off delay of 30 seconds for Group 2. I can't... Where's the class? Oh, there it is. We're going to start with B class and E class. Why not? I'm going to drive my beat. Start with the E-Class cars, I suppose. Oh no, we're going to see the ugly S15. At least they fixed the model, I suppose. That's one thing, right? Might have if I bought this closer so you could hear me better. Got brown RX-7. Gonna get the blob. Gonna put Celica Supra. I need one more car for this class. Not that I'm going to have much. We'll get the Hakasuka because that gave me enough PTSD from when we drove it in that touring car championship thing. Right, what I now need to do. Have I made one too many? Yes, I have. That's why. Change you, because I didn't... Not brown, it's mushroom. We only tolerate brown cars here. I'm going to put my beloved in so it can get absolutely wiped over the floor. Funny enough, the S15 isn't in this class. So... Dino dance. What are we dino dancing to? This game's music's either awfully quiet or I... Isn't this the car that was in Horizon 6? Music. Fair. We'll put the Horizon 6 funny car in. Actually, I think that also means that this is in this class as well, isn't it? Not quite the G-Wagon, but we'll put a Mercedes SUV in there. Really set the scene. Oh, yeah, I was already there. In a mark. Oh well. Guess we're adding one more. One air engine boy. Make it yellow. Yeah, seems about fair. But yeah, I have no idea why all my widgets are broken. They really should be working. Like... But no. Software is actually cooked? I have no idea. I'll have to look into it another time. I'll have to look into it when I have a bit more time as to why it's broken. Oh shit. Are they gonna get going before we lap them? Are you guys looking forward to GTA 6? I can't say I'm hyper excited for GTA 6. It's just another GTA game, isn't it? Guess it's going to depend on what you want your use case out of it to be, I suppose. That would make sense. You know what I might do? I might put our Spotify playlist on in the background. Yeah, but the thing is, right, what is the new one going to do that the old one doesn't? That's the real question. What is the new one going to do that the old one doesn't? Somewhere in here is my video game OST soundtrack. Oh, no, it's gone. Oh, there it is. I found it. Also, shout out Bandai Namco for finally adding some good music. Whilst I'm not paying attention to where I'm going, obviously. Alligators. I suppose so. I should probably turn that down. That is awfully, They finally added Ridge Racer Type 4 soundtrack proper. We should probably go chasing after that Fiesta. The B-class cars are catching slowly. Ugly GSX Eclipse. That's not even the GSX, I think it's the GT. Pretty sure. unbelievable, wasting profit and petrol. I think some of these guys were still here when they worked on Forza Motorsport 2, I think. Not all of them, but definitely some of them. Can you do a race where all the AI? Yeah, I can program that in. I don't know what you're hoping from it. It'll just be a spec race, but we are going to get lapped by the B-class cars. I can see them coming through now. Japanese car, Japanese. I mean, yeah, I can do. It ain't gonna look the same as the motorsport version, though. As in, like, the, ain't gonna look the same as, like, the actual, 2023 motorsport version. Layout's the same, but track style completely different. I could do an all-Japanese race. I could do an all-Japanese race at Fujimi. I don't think doing it in a Prius would be particularly exciting. I know the Nissan Juke. They also made a Nismo version of it, but we don't talk about that. I think B-Class would probably be the best one for it. I'm going to try and let the AI go. Where M. Rossi, they're only in the single player. They're only in the single player. This is effectively like a multiplayer or custom race, so the AI are all different. They're all just name of developers. They are all just literally named developers. FIA approved Ferrari and Grace. Yeah, of course they did. They had Adjuo. What was it? Like the Adjuo? Something like that. Can you get going in your Porsche? I have a feeling that Porsche might be faster than the Audi. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to add horsepower to any track, you might as well have it be Monza. I found the Merc SUV. Porsche just cleared the Audi now. And they're both catching up to the, we didn't have the Merc G-Wagon. No, but we had the ML63, which has never come back. I think it was Motorsport 5, but we haven't had the ML63 come back. I think it just got replaced with a G-Wagon. It hasn't caught up to us yet. You know it's bad when a VW Beetle's beating a B-Class, when it's 3 classes down. Or was that... No, that's the Legacy. Oh my god, the Legacy and the Merc haven't even... Okay. That is a revelation. The Merc is stuck behind the Fiesta right now. Well, yeah, but it's also got a lot of horsepower. It shouldn't be getting beat by a B-Class Beetle. I can see it there. Legacy, go fast. Not a very top speed track though. No, but I'm in a Beetle in E-Class. That car is what? DCB. It's 3 classes above me. He just got me at the end. What was his best lap? A 120.7. What was mine? A 125.0. I can only assume it got stuck in the traffic. That is the only thing I can think of. Oi, oi. Hello, mate. How's it going? Pause the music for now. Right, you want to do a race at Fujimi Kaido, huh? Okay. I will make it a 1-class race then. For B classes. Fujimi Kaido. B class, and we want all the opponents to have Japanese cars. We shall go by the flag on the top left of the screen. We will start with the Mugen. The Mugen Civic. And then we can go to Mazda. We can give one an RX-7. Make it bright yellow. Oh, we got Mitsubishi. We've already got the GTO. Let's add in an Evo 10. Why not? Make it blue. We've all got the GTO, so we won't need to put that in. We've already got the Legacy, so we'll put in the Pupra. The Tutra. And put it in white. Mitsubishi GTO I'm already happy with. Already got the Legacy, so let's put in the 22B. We got an R33. Need to get rid of this Audi Quattro. Put in the S2000. We'll have a black car. Super Legacy's there already. What else could we add? We could put the NSX in, but that would be a bit too broken. We'll put the trumpet, the only acceptable colour for it. And what else could we add? We got an R33 already. I don't want to add another Nissan. I mean, I guess we have a modern, add a modern Impreza. The one no one likes, though, just to make it extra spicy. And now I need to pick a Japanese car. Lexus is considered American, so I can't use that. I would use one of that. I would use that, but that makes me cry. So let's not do that. I'm going to use the Mugen Integra. Why not? It's got a stupid livery on it because I got it as a season greetings reward that Turn 10 gave out many years ago. I wish all of my fucking widgets worked, Matt. I don't know what's gone on. Includes widgets. Oh, never mind. Well. No pit lane on this version of the track. Oh, I need to turn the music back on. Oh, I've nudged the R33, so I was turning the music back on. It's a lot narrower on this game. I have PTSD. It's every Honda ever. I could, theoretically, remove the livery off this car. I'm not going to, because that's stupid. But this is the only Mugen type car I have. I wonder if any of the traffic will be able to overtake on this track. I wonder. The AI are not very good at passing on this circuit. I can't imagine why. But yeah, generally they're not very good at passing. Some of them are trying moves at least. Fair play. So I drive like a proper Honda driver and just start like hill. It's mostly uphill and then it starts going downhill. I'd rather drive like a proper Honda driver though. We're kind of pulling away from the AI a little bit. They'll probably finish roughly in finishing, like, starting order, probably. Probably be to be expected. But this track looks very, very different compared to how it is in 2023. We are nearly at the top of the hill. That would be the smart play. However, I've also learned that by blocking the heat out, you also trap it in. So it's worth keeping that in mind. The AI are not doing well with this track. And we are effectively at the peak now, chat. No temples up here, no seating areas, nothing. It's literally just cliffs and trees. Got your signal tower up here, whatever that is. Peak of summer. My college never did that. It was just a congratulations and away we went. No big special ceremony or anything like that. I will say the heat is quite tiring though. I think you kind of need... Yeah, you think? The AI haven't really made any moves either. The AI are, like I said, not very good at overtaking at this track. At all. They fucking suck. The only time they ever really overtake is when they have a clear advantage. I mean, the aircon would be nice, but it only does so much. POV Lewis Hamilton 2026 GP. Yeah. I mean, you asked for this race, Lever. Unfortunately, the AI are just not on my level, but they're fun enough. I wish I could watch the race, but it would probably make for very boring viewing. There we go. Legacy's still holding on to second, but I think it's only doing that because the Fair Lady's holding up everyone else. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how they're going to do a modern adaptation of that. To be completely honest, I don't know how they're going to do a modern, live action thingy of that. Right, we've done the Japanese honorary race. We could do a race at Catalonia Grand Prix, but that's kind of boring in a way. I'm gonna do 2 classes again. I'm going to go in the second group this time. Well, One Piece you can kind of understand adapting. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna let the slower cars go first. What other car can we dump in there? Put the Cadillac North Star in. I have not seen Game of Thrones in like ever. Is that bad? Never seen Game of Thrones. Same. I've seen the first couple. Might as well just sit here and wait a minute. That Toyota noise, man. I haven't driven these in so long. Oh, sticky off-road. Forgot about that. So our toughest opposition is the R15. That'll be the fastest car to race against. Thankfully it starts at the back, so it might be okay. I need to turn the music on when I get an opportunity. I don't like driving these cars with no TCS. Cannot lie. Actively holding up the Audi right now. This car has a lot of turbo lag as well, believe it or not. Where is Sender? It's also worth noting this is actually also a P2 car, as in the class below LMP1 or Group C, which might be why I am struggling so badly. Well, I'm littering the track. I cannot let the turbo lag. It's throwing me off so bad. Oh, we're lapping the traffic now. This might be my time to shine. Oh, no. Cool. Guard overhead. Oh, the 905's got past the 787B. Oh dear. Oh. typing one-handed right now. That's why my driving's gone to shit for a second. I'm already struggling with the car. I would be way more aggressive with the throttle, but is there any point? Maybe I should get out of second more. First is underrated. I'm playing Battle Station. Is that a 360 game? I forget. I think it is. I know it's a game. I don't remember what console it's on though. Pretty sure it's 360 though. Makes sense. I once did a endurance race back in the day on this game in our class. I forget what opponent. Well, it was our one opponents, obviously. And I know it was at the Nordschleifer. I forgot how long the race took. Oh, that slowdown's awful. Not even gravel game. It's fucking tarmac. I don't like that Audi is successfully fighting its way through the field right now. The Audi is now... Oh, it's in a fight. I know the Audis are very, very prone to oversteer. The AI are very, very quick in the diesel powered Protos. The AI are very quick in the diesel Protos. I know that, but they drive them better than I can. I know that's not exactly setting a high bar, but they drive those cars better than I could. They're just such a oversteering mess to me. Next time I'll turn traction control on for these cars. Haha, funny lap numbers. Not a set of clean lap for a race. There's quite a big gap to some of the GT3 cars. I wonder what's happened there. They're at 905 behind me still. starting to figure this car out a little bit now. Can Dragon set a clean lap before this race is over? Nearly at the end of this race now. Oh boy. All I want is a clean lap. That's all I want. I got a message, so I end up replying at the worst possible time. Typical random things. Oh, fuck. How is that 905 still there? I really should wait until after this race to send a message, but you know what? I'm the king of multitasking. We'll probably end up lapping those GTs at the back again. I really should I just don't like the oversteer. The AI will start clapping the other AI when I get out of control of this car, because it will just drive better than me, and it will have all the assists, which will make it a lot easier to drive for it. Woo! I got 39.2, which is 3 seconds faster than the 908. Audi got a 1 minute 40.5, so I wasn't that quick. Yeah, some of those other cars are a bit on the slower side, aren't they? can't. There's the other GTs, so where are the rest of them? There's the Viper and the BMW. Not too far away, I imagine. I told you, yeah, I would start massively pulling away because it can drive better than me. Oh, there they are. Maybe I underestimated the pace of the GTs a little bit. Maybe if I just drove better, we definitely could have lapped them. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, that Audi got stuck in traffic and it paid the price for it. I'm gonna quickly mute that in the background. Level 31 with Mazda. It's hard to believe that I've been playing this game for God knows how long and I have never ever seen, like... I still haven't completed all the manufacturing. I put so much time into this game as a kid as well. I guess I just ended up driving the same few cars. That might have been what it was. But yeah, a reminder to turn the traction control on next time I decide to do a race like that. I keep forgetting the Top Gear test tracks here. I'm gonna put myself in the slower group. Right, let's see what Dick class cars I can drive. I forgot about the Del Sol. Do you know what? I might humour myself and drive that. It can't be that bad, surely. Oh yeah, the Stratos is in here, isn't it? Well, we'll pick the Fateau, because that's top of the class. So I actually have some competition. We'll keep the Tirreno. Sure, we'll have a DB5. Why not? Good old British Racing Green. Do I want a Charger? Twingo. Gotta be a Twingo. As always. Right, what cars do we put in S-Class? McLaren F1, sure. Twingo, yeah, the GOAT. I can't remember if the Veyron's not in this class, but the EB110 is. Sure, we'll put the 599 GTO in there. In yellow, so it sticks out like a sore thumb. If I put the Viper, I have to put the Corvette, so I won't do that. 959 in S-Class is crazy. XJ220. Long boy. The most slowest S-Class car that I think ever S-Class. Put in a nice colour though, so it can stand out above the crowd. And sure, we'll put the C12s under in there. I always go on this game just to make fun races. I think the only thing that I am a little bit sad about is that this game does not get more updates. The car roster is still really strong. That's the thing. The car roster is still really, really strong. Even after all these years, it's just got more out-of-date models, basically. Which isn't inherently a bad thing. Oh, I've driven this before, haven't I? I think I remember driving this. I don't remember how I built it, but it probably drives like ass. Oh. Music. Oh, it's awfully drifty. I guess I never put racing suspension on this. Based on the fact that it sits so high. Or did I rear drive swap this? It's really hard to know. I guess it's rear-wheel drive. I don't remember rear-wheel drive converting this car. Big cars versus small cars on this track. I'd have to find what class has the most SUVs in it. I have no idea. Might be C class. The S-Class cars are catching up to the back of the pack. Is that the 959? Oh no, it's a 599. Don't get them confused now. Where is our big red boy? There it is. Yeah, bro wasted no time. Buddy, go through. I know it's a tight track. Come on. We've been passed by 3 of the 6 cars. Here's the 4th. I'm trying to let the faster cars go, but they're so slow in the corners. It's actually surprising how slow in the corners they are. Oh, hello, Zonda. That came out. Oh, the AI crashed. Oh, it's happening. I think the Twingo's been hit. Not the Twingo. Have I been passed by all the cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I have. Trying not to oversteer. I believe that is our resident. Yeah, that is our Twingo. Sad day for the Twingo. Twin don't go. Twin sad. Go on AI, go see what you can do in my fucking stupid Del Sol. I'm impressed at the speed of the DB5. Was the Twingo setting good laps? I can't tell. 36.6 it did. 35.2. So it had more pace in the tank. It was just stuck behind the... I assume it was stuck behind the Familia. Is my car gonna get T-boned? It might do. No. Might get hit at the hammerhead or follow through. I've hit the Twingo instead. Oh, it's lost its rear bumper. I need to... I'll quickly take the class restriction off. What class has the most SUVs? I think it's C class. There's one. There's two. I guess three. As long as we have like 4... 5... 6. Yeah, we could do C classes. C and F class, so much XP. We'll do C and F class then, because that's the only way I can do small and What I'll do... Do I want to... We'll do some more laps. It's going to suck for me, but... We need a couple of shit boxes. Where's the smart car? There it is. Think of the absolute cinema. Oh yeah, it'll probably be great. Right, what else is small? No, we've already got a Toyota. Let's not use the same thing twice. Ford KA, fuck it. Well, Ford Ka, if you want to be specific. And Signet, because I keep forgetting that they made this. In a very aggressive blue. What could I drive? I'll drive a shitbox to have a small car. I don't know which one I'm going to go for. I haven't got many F-Class cars. Chevy Spark. Right, let's get these guys in heavy, big vehicles of some description. I have a Ram. There's a Land Rover. There's a Q7. It looks good in white. The Ram's already been included. The game knew. What else was there? Jeep, Armor Creep. It said Jeep, Armor Creep. Oh, the VW Touareg was one, wasn't it? Bruh, it's Charles Jericho. We'll have a black Touareg. What was the other car? Oh, it was the Typhoon, wasn't it? I'll see if there's something better than the Typhoon before I pick it, because the Typhoon I think is actually quite light. I just don't remember it being bulky and heavy. Well, it's the best thing I've got, so I guess we'll use it. What is that colour? Get me in that. This is going to be an experience. Oh boy. The car is at the front of the field as well, let's go. I have no idea if they're going to be able to catch up. But yeah, a 30-second head start, remember. I can see them all, they're all moving. Whenever I thought of the Chevrolet Spark, I always thought it was electric. It's not, but it's what I thought. See the tiny smart car. The big boys. Although seem to be struggling for any meaningful pace at the moment. I might catch the C-Class car before they catch me. They are slowly catching up. To me, though. I don't think the lap time are going to be representative, though. And then they've got to navigate all the F-Class traffic as well. Yeah, there's definitely a big performance gap between some of the F-Class cars. Mario Gomez, isn't it? I actually don't know what his name is. I assume the C-Class cars are starting. It's hard to tell where they are, but the C-Class cars you can definitely see, and there's just one tiny boy. A couple of tiny boys. I don't think they're going to catch me at all. They'll catch the rest of the field, but I don't think they'll catch me. I can only assume they are that high up in class because of their acceleration and straight line, rather than their actual performance, because my god, they are slow. Put them in a straight line though, I bet they'll kick ass. I can see one of the cars is nearly on the back of the rest of the F-Class cars. Oh, two of them are. They're big. this rate, I'm going to end up hitting myself into the F-Class cars before the fucking SUVs will. There's the Ford Ka. The Smart is literally just down the road. One of their C-Class cars has cleared the traffic. Hog. Bonjour Kaiser, comment ça va? How are you? Oh, let's get T-boned. No. Ah, ça va. There's the Ford car. I've got a big lumbering SUV after me, but I don't think that's going to be the biggest of my worries. Oh, there's the signal. This track give me brain damage. I don't understand where you need to go. It crosses over. It's a very iconic track in the UK. I guess internationally as well. If anyone ever watched Top Gear UK specifically, it's just because it's a figure of 8 track, quite literally, and it crosses over itself. It's not the easiest thing to understand. This is very underwhelming right now. The problem is, the C-Class cars don't have enough speed compared to the shitboxes in F-Class. Ha, lap 6 out of 9. The C-Class cars, all the SUVs do not have the pace to get around the track fast enough. If I timed it for like 25 minutes, then probably, yeah. The 30-second delay probably didn't help either, but here we are. The rest of the F-Classes are miles behind, so only FMH. That's fair. This game has quite a few tracks that you might know, but also a lot that you won't know. This is a real circuit, believe it or not. This is indeed a real circuit, despite what it looks like, for better or worse. I'm going to end up ploughing into my own rivals, never mind the C-Class cars. They haven't even caught me yet, and they're in clean air. Like, the next SUV is there. I can see the SUV there. Well, there's going to be some crashes over there. The AI will definitely hit each other, but not me. I was a bit very floaty. This is like driving on soap. This is like driving on soap, but it's the game I grew up with. Well, I thought they had a crash there. They did not. Oh, he's definitely been rammed. There's the 2000 GT. I might get hit here. There we go. I've been hit by my own class, never mind the fucking SUVs. There's one of them. It's only taken them 8 laps to catch me. The AI are a bit oblivious, I'll put it that way. I miss racing with AI, to be fair, in multiplayer. I miss that this was something you could do. Oh. Hello, Hartman. Just, payback. There we go. At least the AI knows where it's going. Oh, here come truck. Oh my god. That's because I'm deliberately trying to crash into them at this point. Oh my god, it's a cyclone. Not a cyclone, typhoon. You can tell it's a typhoon because it's bright bloody purple. Go on, Nice. There you go. That's how slow they are in the corners. I can easily out-corner these guys. I can't out-drag them, but I can out-corner them. They're coming up to lap that KA in the same way I am. Oh, there's a crash. I assume that's with the CRZ. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's all kicking off now. Maybe if we're lucky, the AI will plow into us. Maybe. Yeah, lap times aren't even close, really, are they? Save that song for next time. We do have an extra lap, courtesy of the KA, though, which is currently a lap down on us, so... I've got that nice big typhoon next to me now. It's chasing me. The smart cars just try to ram the ram in the distance. That's quite funny. But yeah, this car's not slow. Even the fact that they are like however much above us. Oh, that's GoPro logo. I know. Sign of the times though, eh? Oh, there we go. Race is over. Oh. SUV got rammed. Like I said, we put them on a straight line track like Le Mans, and I guarantee you they clap cheeks. I guarantee they clap cheeks on a track like Le Mans, but not here. So much money. Level 47 with Chevrolet because I did a race with the fucking Spark. Okay. That was a bit lackluster, I'll admit. Try and spice things up a little bit. C and A, and I'll go in A class this time. And that means we put you in C. Delta's gonna do so shit here, but I don't care. What is top speed? Shall I test my theory, actually? Shall I put the Audi Q7 in this race? Just see how it gets on. Like I said, it can go in a straight, it just can't corner. Do you know what? I haven't ran that VW Scirocco as an opponent for a while, so I might run that. Just for something basic, basically. Just like a comparable everyday car. Oh, we got the 197. Okay, we'll run the 197. I would usually run the V6, but the V6 is usually excessively fast. Usually. It's just Renault Clio. It doesn't even say which one, it's just Renault Clio, mate. Which one? Irrelevant. Renault Clio. We'll put the PTSD Camaro in there. YOLO. We'll put the Mustang in as well. See if it crashes into any crowds. What is that green? Now it'll absolutely be hit. Now it'll absolutely be worth hitting. Even I can't talk. Renault for the win. Hopefully it will do well. I have no idea. The AI's odds are not in its favour, I'll be honest. The AI are looking a little bit sad. I'll be completely fair. Tuscan S. I can't remember the last time I ran the Tuscan. I always ran the Sagaris. So I guess we'll run the Tuscan for this one. Olive. It's fucking awful. We'll put a Tesla in. Let's laugh at the funny Tesla electric car. We need something to laugh at, so we'll put it in. Yeah, that. What else could we put in? I would leave the NSX in. It could be a strong, okay all-rounder, but nah. We'll put the then brand new M5 in this race. Why not? Do I want to leave the NSXR in? I feel like I should. It's a fair benchmark. I mean, the XKRS. I don't they massacred my boy. Yeah, we'll leave the Honda in. I don't think you can change the colour on it, though. I think it's only only... Oh, you can. Okay, we'll put it in that blue that Jeremy drove many, many years ago. What am I going to drive? I'll drive my R33 because I love this thing. Shout out to my homeboy, Pokey, if he's ever watching these in the future, or now, or whenever, for painting this car. One of my first ever team painters as well, to be fair. Kaiser should know this track, just maybe not like this. Because this did get added to FM23, but this is the original interpretation of it, basically. It looks very different. Oh, music. Oh. Oh, bro. What was Indianapolis at home? We have Indianapolis in the game. Rest in peace, NSX, that barely got round turn 1. I'm sure it will catch up. There's a few slower cars. Believe it or not, this isn't even a car that I ran in a competitive event back in the day. If you want, Kaiser, if I get the chance, I will show you some of my original tourer cars back from when I started doing this, because I still have liveries for them. I even have some old footage, to be fair. I still have some old tourer footage. Hey Liam, how's it going? This game's always a trip down memory lane for me. It just doesn't quite hit the same with no one really playing it. Just got done doing open lobbies on Gran Turismo or F1. Oh my god. Turn, please. Thank you. I'm track extending like I'm George Russell. That's fair. How did it go? One of my favourite corners is that one. You can roll your car on it. Let's see how our C-Class competitors are getting along. Well, the Audi is currently last, which isn't a surprise by any metric. It's quick in a straight, not round a track. Even though this technically has a big speedy section. Cataclysmic understeer. Oh, it's the Olive Mustang. Hello. I don't ever get in a big streak again. You gotta turn up, Liam. You gotta keep turning up. You'll get there. You need to try and swing by a bit earlier, because there are times where I finish before 10 o'clock. There are genuinely times where I might finish before 10. There's the Renault. Beating the Delta. It's beating the Lancia Delta and the Scirocco and the Audi Q7, so it's doing well. It's in second in class. PTSD Camaro is running. I'm not setting like blistering lap times. The AI are not that competitive. They're fun to race against if you've got other people. Like they make great. They fill out the grid is a good way of putting it. I'm effectively hot lapping, but the AI fill out the grid, which makes it feel like it has a bit more life, even if they're not fast. Most modern fucking games won't let you do this. For some forsaken reason, they will not let you add AI. Just add the AI, bro. It's like, if they're there, use them in multiplayer. It helps make a dead game last longer a little bit. At least you got something to play against. Especially in like custom races like this where I can set up my own grids and stuff. It's probably the main reason I like Gran Turismo 7 specifically, is for that reason. You can create your own grids with your own cars. The only downside is that you can't on this game you can't use cars from your own garage, otherwise I'd be doing those all the time. But alas, I can't do that. I have to use the cars at the stock and readily available for the AI to use. Pros and cons of a local hard drive save, I guess. I would have AI in the V8 Explorer. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if they could, they would, but the AI, they're not very realistic. But like I said, I do have some old Tora footage, like 2014-ish Tora. Back when I was making up the bottom numbers in Tora. Like, I used to be I thought I was the dog's bollocks. I'm not, but I used to think I was, and then I started doing competitive racing and I realised just how shit I was. Paulie probably seen the footage countless times at this point, which isn't a surprise. Made it on TV once for Tora, so I'll take it. Can I set a clean lap? That is the question. Game trivia fact: random ass F1 2010 fact streamer. It is the only game where you can walk around the paddock of each track when you're going through the menus on a save. And you have to right, AI and Enduro. I wish. The AI are not good. I'll finish this clean lap and I'll show you their pace. Like, I'm probably quicker on this now than I was when I was younger. I'm probably quicker on this now compared to when I was younger, back when I first started out. I'm not rapid, I'm just not slow. But bear in mind that back in the day, I used to be some fucking scrub. 138.9, not my fastest lap. They're in the 147s. Really setting the world on fire. Very nice, 99 and Monza. If he ever joined Tour, I think it would be over. Just bear in mind that I feel for the guy, because not only has he been memed online, someone's impersonating him on X. I know it's a parody account, like, I know it's a parody account, so it's not actually them, but it's not great that someone's actual account is being, like, what's it in? I think IGN reached out for a comment to them on Xbox and they never replied to that either. Locked on the wall. I got locked on the wall. I did a 38.0. I'm 9 seconds lap quicker than the AI in second on this track. Admittedly, they're in a stock car and this is upgraded, but still. Oh. But do you know what? It took me a long time to figure out what OGB stood for. When I forgot what OGB, I didn't realize what OGB stood for when I was growing up. I can now tell my friend who made, like, that thing, I can tell my friend I know exactly what it stands for now. Which is nice. Who are we coming up to lap? I assume that's the Audi we're coming up to lap there. I assume. I'd be worried if it was the Tesla. Yeah. What a story. But I hope that guy is, like, genuinely okay, and I hope he's not getting, like, hate mail and threats and stuff. I really hope so, anyway. I hope he's okay. I think we've just cleared the Audi. Yeah, it is the Audi. Fuck, Renault doesn't win. It's second, though. It's only 3 seconds a lap slower than the Chevy Camaro, but let's ignore that. Porsche 996 was second. They were 8 seconds off me. The Renault was a stronger of the cars, but it's done well for itself, to be fair. Camaro's, yeah. The AI have a habit of really breaking out straight line speed, more than they do in the corners. nice Bop Dragon. He just doesn't want... I could do a full French race if you wanted. There's quite a lot of French cars in this game. I don't know how many are in the same class though. But I did try the AI, like, they all drive stock cars, but I think they have a preference to four-wheel drive and REAF. Does it have the RS01 GT? I think this game's too, like, before that came out. I think I can show you what's in here. Like, there's quite a lot of cars. Like, that's my cars. I don't want to do that. What Renaults are there? Got the Renault 5 Turbo, the Twingo Sport, RS197, the 2010 RS, the Clio V6, and the RS250. I forgot the NSX died that one. Yeah, it did. It got absolutely sandwiched between me. Well, I got sandwiched between the BMW and the NSX, and the NSX came off worse. Peugeot's, it's got what you'd expect. The 107, 308 GTI, 207 RC, the 206 RC, 205 Turbo, RCZ, the fucking Meta Rally car in Horizon, and then the three iconic Le Mans Protos. What else is French that we have? Citroen. We've got the C1, C4 VTS, the DS3 and the DS4. What else is French? Bugatti, EV. Yeah, we've got three Veyrons basically. I forgot to turn the music off for this. Bertoni's Italian. What else is French? It usually has... I need to look for the French flag in the top left. Yeah, we've done Citroen. Got all the main brands, I suppose. Peugeot, Renault. Yeah, they're the only French manufacturers, but they've got a few fun cars, at least. Ironically, arguably the best cars in the game, like stat-wise. If you want the AI to give you a fight, hey Lima, if you want the AI to give you a fight, you pick these, basically. These and the Audis. Turn some more weird car manufacturers, we could go through those. Like, we'll pick up C-Class. Like, the 206 is in the same class as the DB4 Zagato, by the way. Like, Javelin, Veloster Turbo. That was a free DLC pack. I remember that. Range Rover, 91 M3. There's the GSX. The Eclipse everybody likes, and then the other one's the Eclipse nobody likes. Polo, 205 Turbo, 250 Testarossa, Corvette. These are all in the same class, by the way. France is playing, actually, by the way. How's the scoreline going? I know you've got Mbappe up front. Probably. Just loads of fun, funky little cars that you just take for granted. Like, what the fuck is the TSX V6? 190E, Coronet. I'll tell you after this fucking puff. Ram, John Cooper Wirtz, Scirocco, Galant. MR2 GT is in fucking C-Class. Wild. It's just... Oh, ad. I'm sorry. Not pub, sorry. Everyone loves ads. The EAM is an F8. Well, yeah, I know the RAM is. It got added. This is the first time it's appeared I think. Where is the RAM? It's further back, isn't it? This is the first time this car has appeared in a Forza game since this game. This is the game it was last in. This game is 15 years old. '20th anniversary of this car, by the way. 20th anniversary. Do you feel old yet? 20 years this car's been out from the Forza model. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, despite what the stats say, this is a deceptively quick car. Despite what the stats say. I don't understand how these are on the same Suzuka or Barcelona. I mean, I can do a class race at Barcelona, I suppose. That won't be a problem. Well, I've done it at Barcelona already tonight. I'll do Suzuka. AI, Pro. We'll do a C-class race. I'll do 3 laps because it's long and slow in these cars. We'll randomize the grid, no finishing timer. So the AI can race all the way to the end. Right. Okay. I'll put a benchmark car in there. What's the strongest car I could... Theoretically, it'd be that, but it's not. It's probably that. So we're going with that. I'll put that in as well. Peugeot deserves more love in Forza games. They literally have the best car in the game on this one. They literally have the best car in the game on this one, but yeah. Peugeot 206 RC. I'll put it in, but I can't lie, Kaiser. This car will probably struggle to beat anything else. I'll be completely honest. Right, I need the Clio V6 so I can show you that this car just claps cheeks in this class. They literally only have 2 cars in F6. Peugeot have a lot more here. Isn't the Mazda 3 back in Horizon 6 now as well? I can't change it. The AI is stuck in stock cars. I literally cannot change the AI performance. Otherwise I would if I could, but I can't. I'll put the ZR1 in so it's got at least something to race against, because that thing's also dog shit slow. What is the slowest car? Technically, the slowest car I could put in this race is probably that. This is probably the slowest car I could put in the race. If it doesn't beat the Range Rover, I'm sorry. I'll put a Range Rover in for you, so it at least has, again, a chance of beating something. I haven't ran the Civic SI. Don't leave out the data mass, so I will add it. Where is it? The original Pantera. Like, only car between 340 and 360 PI. That really narrows my grid down. But the PI in this game doesn't really make sense. It really does not make sense on this game. Like, at all. Like, the PI really makes no sense. Because if you look at the 206 RC, there are its stats, right? It launches really well, and it accelerates really, really well. It just doesn't go or turn or stop. But then again, this car performs worse, statistically. By the number. It makes no sense. And this is even worse. This is statistically the worst car in the class, but you wouldn't think it. It's the same. This is on the same level as this. So the PI really makes no difference, really. I'll put the Veloster in, because I haven't ran the Veloster for, like, a while. I need a silver car. Can wish it good luck. Well, I will do my best. Yeah, I've also randomized the grid, so a good starting position will probably help it a little bit. Fuck it, I'll toss the Galant in. Now I need to pick a car. Yeah, go on then. CLK. CLK will be fast as shit, won't turn. I know the CLK. It's one of the fastest cars in C-Class. Only on Le Mans. Because it can't do corners. It can't even do the ovals. It's awful. But, for reference, I also threw in the Clio V6. Just to give you an idea of how little PI means in this game. Because that Clio V6 is mid-class. It should finish, statistically, mid-table. That's where it should finish. Whether that's where it will finish, no idea. But I've tried to give the 206 some competition for it to have a fighting chance. Where is the 206, actually? It's near the front. The 206 is near the front. I can tell you that for free. Oh, there it is. I forgot I painted it black. Well, it's got the Range Rover. Was the stock Clio? No idea. I forgot to turn the music back on. Oh, I'll do that in a sec. Can I do that now, actually? Hold on. Oh, I'm on the sticky grass. That's how they used to stop corner cutting. Just really heavy sticky grass. Ironic that we're playing Daiki Kasho in Suzuka. Oh, I've sent that too hard. Like I said, that 206 has good acceleration, it just has no go. Or at least statistically it has no go. It did have a decent-ish starting position, so it might be okay, but it's definitely not keeping up with the front runners. Yeah. Sounds about right. International relations, am I right? I need to focus on driving a bit more. Hotel Travago. 206 is very much in no man's land at the minute. I guess it'll have a representative lap time then. Silence, Suzuka. He's just doing his Civic, doing. I sure am. This car you can't even purchase. You know how everyone complains about the FOMO cars? This is one of them for FM4. This is not new to Forza in terms of like the practices. You cannot buy this car from the auto show. I think there's like 18 cars that you had to get gifted done by turn 10. I have a majority, but not all, and I don't have two of my three favorite. Like, yeah, I don't have two of the ones I really like. I've got two of the ones that everybody really wanted, but I don't have the two I really wanted, which was the R34 and the R32 Mines. I never got them. I never got them on this game, which is a shame. Tom's MR2 wasn't in this game. One 0 for France. Nice. S15 Top Secret was. Yeah, you can mod them in with emulation, but this is an original save from 2011. No, the Tom's MR2 wasn't. There was the two Mugen cars, which were the Civic and the Integra. There were the two Mine Skylines. There was the HKS Evo. There was the Top Secret S15 and the Top Secret Supra. There was the Murcielago LP640. I think it's the 2007 Shelby GT500. What else was there? Oh, the 1969 Camaro. The 1969 Camaro was also one. The RX-7 Spirit R was another. The M3 GTR road car was also unicorn in this game. There were quite a few. Miura Concept was, yeah. The S-Class one. Even the original Forza Horizon had unicorn cars. The S5S, the CRX, and the Elan were three of them. Yeah, it's just nations. They just pull their best players together and basically send them to the World Cup to represent your country, basically. The one you're thinking of, Lima, is the Club World Cup, I imagine, is the one you're thinking of. Yeah. The FIFA World Cup is nations. The Club World Cup is the one with actual club teams. Yeah, yes, there was, but they were dumped under Chevrolet, I believe. Because the Sledgehammer was in Chevrolet, not Callaway. Pretty sure, if I remember my games right. I mean, you're not wrong, Lima. That De Tomaso has been caught up again. It's good in a straight, it cannot corner. But the De Tomaso also started near the front. Oh yeah, I forgot to give Liam that Mangusta build at some point. I'll have to send him. I probably won't be. After I've done this stream, I've got to go to bed because I've got work and I've got to travel tomorrow. I don't think Cape Verde are a bad side. I just don't understand why people keep flipping it between Cape Verde and Cabo Verde. Just call it Cape Verde. I don't know where the Cabos come from. Do you have player LMU? I don't own it. I want to, but, you know. My wheel is over there, it's very sad. Well, the 206 is currently held on to 5th place, which is good going for it. The Audi TT was catching it. What wheel you got? T300 RS. Love C Classic. Hey, Hazy Breeze, how's it going? The session's open if you want to join. But yeah, I occasionally revisit these. I need to turn that Ridge Racer music off. I was going to show Kaiser some of my old competitive racing livery. Actually, I have one in this class. Where is it? There's one of them. I painted that myself because I couldn't get a painter to do it in time. But there's one of my old cars. That was my first ever car. This is back when, I don't know if you're familiar, Kaiser, but when you choose a number now, it was 5th. It finished where it started. It overtook the Range Rover and then just dropped off from the front 4. This was the first ever car I went competitive racing in on this game. Like, this is the first car I ever went competitive racing in on this game. And it's not quite built the same, but that's what this is back when, I don't know if you remember, Kaiser, but you know when we sign up with our cars with like 826, 827, 828, you couldn't do that back then. You had a set racing number and it was individually assigned. This was my first ever racing number, 893. That was the first car I ever drove there. I have a couple of my old GT cars as well. I'll have to set it to R class because there's loads. There's quite. Oh, there's one of the gift cars that you can't get anymore, but that's in the game. Where are they? That was my first ever enduro car, but I didn't drive for my own team for that one. I actually loaned myself out to a different team and we went racing there. So that was one of the first cars. No, it wasn't that one. It was... That's another one of my cars. Where is it? It's a green Lamborghini. I remember that much. There it is. That was my first ever Tourer endurance car. That was one of my first ever ones. Extreme Gaming. Yeah, I think that was one of their main sponsors at the time for Krypton. Only time I've not driven for my own team. There's one of my other cars. I did a lot of GT racing back in the... This is another one. But this is back when I had to get all my friends to paint for me because I didn't know how to paint. I still kind of don't. These are all like old liveries. I think that one I painted myself. That one I remember running. I remember asking the guy who painted this for this car. I remember, and I still remember his gamer tag from back then. If he's ever watching this in the future, shout out, because he also did it for the road car as well. But I have, yeah, I know I've changed the restrictions for this car, because of course I did. In fact, like, I still have really old, like, ISCC old... Nice pick. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I have a... Oh my god. My first... Oh my god, I remember this. I remember my friend painting that. Oh my god. Oh, this is 2012. This is 2012. What the fuck? This... I hate to admit it, this was one of my first ever painted cars. If it looks sad, that's because it is. Just ignore all of the contradictory sponsors that are on the car, like 76 and Sunoco, and Bridgestone and Michelin. Just forget all that. My friend took a lot of photos that I seem to have downloaded. Like that was, there's a top secret S15. I have that car. One of the grainiest pictures you'll ever take. I know who that was. I don't know. Why did I call this Bounty one? I don't remember. It's basically the rally car. My friend had Speed 8 that looked like that. Wild. People knew how to paint back then. What were we doing here? Yeah. YOLO. Yeah, and then all I could do was big wing. This is the only thing that I could do. I was like, how old was I? I must have been like 50. This is when I first started taking like digital photography. Like a poping crash. It basically was. Oh, some of these photos are so old. Makes me sad. Yeah, that was about the time. 12th of June, 20th. Yeah, this is the time. This is the time I actually started racing. Look, you can even see on the door. I don't know how well you can see it. It's right next to my face, like over here. But my name is on that door on the original side. Not my actual name, but like this was the one of the few, again, really early cars I ran. I remember running 40 PSI on the tires for that. This was the car that I made it to national TV in. This was the car I made it to national TV in. The footage is on YouTube if you want to go find it. I'll let you try and find it. Good luck. But I made it on national TV with this car. And Scoro apps, funnily enough, were actually our first major like door sponsor, which is why the cars are like a grey blue kind of colour. I still have all these cars, by the way. This was the car I got my first ever A-lobby in. We didn't win, but this was the car we got our first ever A-lobby in. And I remember the driver lineup was me, a guy called British First, and my old teammate Statistic. Thank you for the follow, Hazy. Appreciate it. All of my stuff isn't working, like my widgets and stuff, which is annoying. But it looks cleaner in a way. But yeah, this is when I remember. Fun story. So very, very long ago, around the time of Grid Autosport, I reached out to Codemasters like, hey, can I run this livery on a car? And they were like, yeah, go on then. So again, just ignore all the contradictory sponsors. I painted that myself, with the exception of the Eagle. This car, I got my first ever A-lobby pole in. It's still, to this day, my only A-lobby pole that I've ever had. And it was in this car. I got pole by 4 thousandths of a second. And it was a spec race at Motegi Speedway. I got it by 4 thousandths of a second, and this is the car I got my first ever A-lobby, and currently my only A-lobby pole in. That was the 19th of 19th of August 2014. And then one of our other... This was like... Because Motorsport 5 came out, it was such a train wreck, we went back to Motorsport 4. And we continued on that until FM6 came out, basically. Which is an insane statement to say, to give you an idea of how... Well, back in the day, you had... I don't know if you're familiar with people like Asics, Box, all those types of people, Harmonic. They were all really active. They were in Tora at the same time I was. None of them ever did the Spec Cup, though. They only turned out for the big endurances, but the smaller weekly series had way smaller grids, and you still had people that would turn up to them and just clap cheeks. So, yes, it was quite hard, but it was usually in a series where the numbers had dropped off. I remember painting this for my car, like my teammate. I remember he ran the car, and it was like one of the very few races he ever did before he sold his Xbox. This car I have fond memories of because I was actually very competitive in it. I painted this myself. I was very into Finnish radio stations back in the day. So that's what Radio Rock is. They're still going if you're curious. But I used to be into very Finnish radio stations back in the day. And this is a car that I painted. Bambox was German. French, probably Asics still. Probably Asics, because he was active around this time. This is when we did a rallycross, and I remember talking to Red Phantom Games at the time. I thought I did a great job on the livery, but apparently I can't realise that Kumo and Yokohama Yeah, Kumo and Yokohama both make tires. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to make logos, basically. And the latest photo I have is this one. This is the newest photo I have, and it's 2020. I don't remember when but I do have some old Tora footage as well. And some old tag footage, some old multi-class footage. I don't really remember. I think I called this good race because I had a really good start. This is Tora. So I called this good race because I started at the back and I finished mid-table, I think. And I just made all of my places at the start and I just never caught up after that. This is like... What lobby was this? I forgot to turn the replay music off. Lage. Yeah. Again, wouldn't surprise me. Absolutely wouldn't surprise me. I know Lage was good, but then again, BAM was still a thing here. BAM was still a thing on FM4. I don't remember them being particularly active, but they were definitely still a thing. But then again, JSR was still a team here. CQR, they've all moved over. HCR has rebranded so many times at this point. So you had HCR, you had JSR, Razor used to top the leaderboards. That would have been FM6 or FM7, Kaiser, for Lage. If it was FRC, it would have been FM7. I forgot to turn the replay music off. But... oh well. Copyright striking ban. Have I stumbled upon two friends reminiscing? So Kaiser is... Kaiser is a teammate of mine that started playing FM in 2024. I'm the old head here who used to do competitive racing way back in 2013-14, and I have some footage of my old races. Oh, I guess I didn't. So yeah, the way we had to organize the grids back then, because you couldn't manually set the grids, we had to roll off in a call-out order, and I remember starting last. And you can see my old gamer tag. We even had, like, crew tags that you could have. And, like, everyone here had one, basically. Like, you can... the replays don't work very well, but you could see, like, there's a lot of people here that don't race anymore. Like, we had Bolland, who I remember being good friends with for a while. Everyone had, like, liveries and stuff. The replay system was just whack back then. I don't even know who this guy is, but he drove for Forza Universe. Shout out to Hailfire97, who I'm pretty sure was a relative of the staff member, but they had a Subaru touring car. They had no four-wheel drive cars, though. They had no, like, four-wheel drive touring cars. They all... and then we'd all line back up on the grid. We would all line back up on the grid, like, as you do. And then I think we, like, right, because everyone could see the race timer, we would all line up. There's me at the back. There's me at the back. I don't know why this is also when we had 16-man lobbies. So the lobbies they look like an average weekly now. But this was, like, numerous lobbies back in the day. I can't remember what starting time is here, but the replay doesn't work because every time you hit manual with clutch, it doesn't actually shift properly on them, so you keep getting damage pop up. Yeah, the guy in that Renault just completely bogged down. But yeah, I have a lot of fond memories from competitive racing. This is what it used to look like, basically. Which is very funny. Like, this is me in my first, like, year or so. I locked up to try and avoid an accident. But this is what the touring car series looked like before we actually had like actual touring cars in Forza. We used to get production road cars like this, build a very specific set of regulations, and we went with that. It was surprisingly good. I was 7. How old was I when I came out? I'm 28 now. If this was 15 years ago, I was 13 when I started playing this. And I founded my team, which is where the LMP in my name comes from. I founded this team when I was 13. I was never, and I'm still not, a hot lapper. But I can fight my way through a pack of cars in a race. Like, I also remember trying to tune on this game was not great. Doesn't load all the, you can tell, like, my lines are not optimized. I'm not very strong, but I could fight my way through a pack and I could defend for the most part. But yeah, like, I can't remember. I think I finished like 7th, I think. I don't know why I called this a good race. That's fact, how I am now. Like, look, like, I'm obviously a lot better now than I used to be, but I had only just started. Like, a year or so is basic. Bear in mind that I do have a level of dyspraxia. I have a level of dyspraxia. There's also no radar, by the way, so there's no way to tell if someone's like right next to you or not. This is really bare bones. But I got up to 6th and I started 12th. It's lap 3. But I have a small case of dyspraxia, so my hand and eye coordination is a bit poor. So to even say that I'm anywhere near as good as I am now, I take as an achievement. And I still believe and know that when I'm on it on the day, I can have some really strong results. But yeah, I remember Adam. Adam was like someone who was actually good. I remember this guy was actually kind of good back in the day. But this is what like a good level player looked like on FM4, basically. It's not even close. You can see me holding everyone up, basically. And that is literally just how I did all my races. I tried to get through the pack, be aggressive. It's how I learned how to be so quick in the mid-pack. It's how I can fight so well. Because I threw myself in the deep end like this. Bear in mind that I actually have, believe it or not, if I told you I have some footage of me and my friends on this game from before I started competitively racing, would you believe me? There you go. This was on the 10th of January. I started competitive racing on the 17th of May, 2013. I have 2 replays here that are from before I started that. That's how old this save is. This save has got over 13 years of memories on it for me. And I still remember because, like, it's only because of these that I can point out to my friends and go, do you remember this? Like, believe it or not, I think all but one person is in this race I am still friends with now. All but one person. In fact, we're all so close that we've all met each other in real life. Like, since then. And to give you an idea, like, 2 of us live, like, within the same sort of, like, area-ish. One of them is all the way in the one of them's all the way in the northeast. Around the Yorkshire area. Us 3 have all met in person, and we all met on Forza. This was 13 years ago that we started doing like stuff like this together. Oh look, we had all the AI as well. So the only people that haven't met, this person, I remember, good friend of mine, really, really good friend of mine. He doesn't really play driving games that much anymore. Used to be quite an outgoing guy, but I'm in occasional... I know, I've never met Etoff, but I'd like to. But my friend here was... I'll put it this way, he was a bit of a sore loser, I will admit. this guy was a bit of a sore loser, I will admit. The guy here, this is his original game. He's changed his game tag so I built this car and he loved it. I have the build for this car as it is still on my save, but I built this car. I think he downloaded it from when you could share like club garages. He drove this. It was like an absolute pocket rocket. But me and him are still really, really close now. There's my, again, that's my old tag. This was my third ever gamer tag. This one. And this stuck with me until I changed it to Alan P. Dragon in 2015. But this is the tag I ran with for a while. And as you can see, look, we're all in the same clan tag. Even this guy, who I'm still friends with. Do you know what's really ironic? Should I tell you something really ironic? He's in the V12 Vantage here. Bet you can't guess where he works now. I bet you can't guess where he works now. I'll give you a hint. It's crazy how time flies. Obviously, my friends weren't great. I think the AI were on... I don't remember what AI difficulty they were on. I don't remember. This is when we had a full lobby as well. We had 16 people, but like... he works at Aston Martin now. But yeah, we had the AI. This is what a 16-man lobby looked like. This person, I remember being good friends with. I'm still good friends with them now. I'm probably the only person they still talk to from this time period, but I'm still very much friends with them now. 13 years ago, Forza predicted what my friend would be doing. And is this game still competitive? Hey, Cynical, how's it going? I noticed you dropped a follow a while ago and I never saw it. Yeah, my friend just rams the AI. Is this game still competitive? I think it's held up very, very well for the most part. The driving physics leave a lot to be desired, I will admit. But like, no, people don't really play this game anymore. The private servers were known for being like very sus. Like they weren't great back then. They're arguably even worse now with all the like minimal support that these games get. But the peer-to-peer still works, so you can still set up racing with AI and play with friends like this. You could still make a 16-man lobby with 5 of your friends. That is entirely possible. But yeah, me and my friend were, funnily enough, the guy that I was racing with here, I was always a good bit faster than my friends, which is, I think, why I got into competitive racing. They weren't bad. What about the new game? We still run stuff. Funnily enough, so, for anyone who doesn't know, I compete in a league called Tora. First time oh yeah, agreed. So I played this when it dropped in 2011. No, it's just me. I am very, very lucky that I have a great team of people around me, but I started my team on this game. Like, I started my team on this game, and this footage here is from before I even started competitive racing. It's one of 2 replays I have on this save that are from before I started. I've been competing semi-professionally for 13 years. So, like, you may have noticed, Kaiser is in the chat. He's one of my more recent teammates, but this genuinely started as just me and a couple of friends playing Forza. That's how this team started, and that is still how this team plays now. FM2 servers still work because they're all peer-to-peer. FM3, the official stuff doesn't work, but the official stuff doesn't work, but the private servers still do. Same with FM4. Same with Horizon 1, actually. The private servers still work. FH2, as far as I know, is completely dead. We've had some of the guys here represent at LAN. We had a couple of guys that are now at the team previously compete in LAN events, notably FRC. But so FRC was like a very short-lived professional championship thing that Forza did for like 3 or 4 years, and a couple of the guys that we have here had competed previously in that. Is it funny to say, and Kaiser I know is dedicated to trying to get this to happen, but since I've formed this team, in terms of the like big competitive events, as LMP specifically, we have never won outright. We've had podiums. We've had numerous podiums, but we've never won. It's a goal I'm trying to actively change. But we are also against, like, some of the best people that even have ever played Forza still. I'm not one of them. I'm very much a mid-table driver when it comes to competitive. I'm the more recreational, get your elbows out type of racer. And chat about it while whatever happens, happens, basically. But I have... Yes. It's alive, but it's more the league. For motorsport, the scene is very hit and miss for Forza Motorsport. Horizon, it's pretty healthy from what I understand. So it's never gone away. The current comp scene is, yeah, it's pretty brutal. In fact, I actually have, like, where was it? There. So, 12th of November 2014, in the Escort that I remember mentioning earlier. So, I saved this replay to submit a steward's inquiry at the time. I'll put it this way. The way I've been... I've been at the same league organization for 13 years. You may have heard of it. Online Racing Association. Probably the biggest Forza-hosted championships that go, right? Like, they are quite literally backed by... They were backed by the MSA. They've got Guinness World Record. Whatever have you. I'm currently staff there. And I've only been staff a year, if that. At the time of this recording. So I've only been staff a year, but I've been a steward enforcing, like... I've been a steward enforcing the rules and, like, driving standards at the organisation for at least 8 years. So I've been a steward and I've been around the block a long time. The way that people approach this back then, compared to how they approach it now, is completely different. It is in... Everyone did this to have a clean race and have fun. Back then. Like, everyone did this back then to have a clean race and have fun. Nowadays, if it's not exploiting the meta and breaking the game like soggy bread, it's not comp. Which is really unfortunate to say. But, again, some really old footage. Like, there's someone in here. Where are they? I forget where they are. This guy, fucking cracked. One of the fastest drivers I've ever raced against in Forza. He was in my lobby. I think this was A lobby. Or was it B? I think he got a penalty. But this guy was fucking cracked. Very clean dude as well. But, yeah, I know that Paulie's seen this replay. I wasn't bad. I was very, very good, as I was saying, at getting myself up through the field. Like, I can't even remember where I started for this. But where did I start? I was very, very good at fighting my way through the field at the start of a race and then holding on to my position. Because I can't hot lap. My poor starting positions are due to qualifying. Most of the people that you see in these replays have completely retired from comp. Like, nearly everyone in this race has retired from comp. Like, fully. They don't do it anymore. So, I do try and talk to a lot of the people that I'm still friends with, but a lot of the people that come and go out the scene I don't really talk to. Because like I said, we all did... I haven't retired. This is me. This is me right here. I never retired. I still do it. For the same organisation. I'm just not very good. I am, if you want to consider it comp, I'm mid-tier. I'm one of those people that will probably make the group stages and then get knocked out in the group stages. So, fun fact about the car numbers. Back then, when we were running... Back then, when Toro were running this series, everyone had a dedicated fixed car number that you had to run. No, I do this completely free. Nearly no one that does Forza Comp gets paid. Like, literally nearly no one gets paid. If they do, someone has got a deep pocket and is bankballing people to stay there. It's like 50 quid on a race. Like, race win or whatever. I can't do that. I work a dead-end job. But yeah, so back then we had fixed numbers that everyone... So if you signed up, you had to apply for a race number. And you had to pick one that was vacant or hadn't been used in, like, a year. And every so often they would clear out the numbers for people that weren't active in the last 6 months, so the numbers came available again. They ditched that system in... I can't remember when they ditched that system, but I can tell you that number 93 has been my race number because of my gamer tag of back in the day. And I've had 4 race numbers. Like, at Tora, I've had 4 race numbers. 893, 293, 33, and 93. After they dropped, like, the fixed number system, where you could just pick a number and roll with it, that's when it started become. But this is before that. Like I said, I made it on TV, but I was in lobby F. Yes, we were all in Xbox, like, in-game lobby chat. We didn't use parties because they had a limit of 8. We were in the game chat. Like, we were all talking in the game chat here. Like I said, I was very, very good at holding everyone up. I can overtake. I have a lot of racecraft. I just don't have a lot of pace. And then, yeah, here we go. Do you know what? This footage is so old. The guy next to me, I don't know who it is. I think it's Connor. This was literally, like... This was mere months after Jules Bianchi passed away in the Suzuka crash in F1. That's how old this footage is. That was a recent event at the time of this footage. That's why Team Hard were running a Pray for Jules livery. I just thought, you know, in case you felt old, but this was a very recent event at the time for what was going on in real world. But yeah, there were people running, like, even here, there were people running, like, memorial liveries and stuff like that. You can even see people's telemetry, but it's not very good. It was also really easy to roll your car. But all of the cars here were built exactly the same. Everyone had the same horsepower, same tyre widths, rims, everything, really. And obviously, everyone used manual with clutch, so you always got gearbox damage every time you watch a replay, which is hilarious. I started 9th, I got up to 4th, and I think I got wrecked out of 4th. I don't remember what lap it was, but I'd already been through the walls at this point. In fact, where's Hady T? Hady T has started fighting his way up through the field, but he is quick. He's just got stuck in traffic. But trying to race through Camino was crazy work. Camino was just... Yeah, I was getting basically punted around a lot at the time. It's 3 wide on a track that's not really designed for 3 wide. I think someone absolutely sends me and I just get pitted into the wall. I think it might be here. Yeah, it's here. So I get absolutely sent. I turn in to make the corner and that was my race over. I just got absolutely sent into the corner. You could argue I turned in on him, and I see that perspective as well. I actually do, but if you want to go by thingy, I don't think that classifies as alongside enough at the time I turned in. So I turn in there, and I'm not even braking. Keep that in mind. I'm still committed to the corner, and then, yeah, that's when I brake because I get hit. And I tried to save the car. I kind of save it, and then, yeah, I just get plowed. And that's my race over. That's the only reason I have that replay saved. My race was ruined. And back then, you couldn't repair aero damage. So if you got aero damage in a race like that, you couldn't repair it. So you permanently had a, like, heavy drag effect added to your car. What else do we have? We have some old tag footage. We have some really old tag footage from back in the day as well. I remember these. I can't remember how they went specifically, but I do remember that this was a combo and a half. So back then, you could drop the 8-seat engine into the GTA, which is already terrible to drive. I just want to point that out. But on an oval, when you're trying to dodge everyone, who got you into racing? There is a guy by the name of Mr. Raz T, who I am very good friends with. In fact, he's the first teammate I ever met. He is also quite a good bit older than me. So long story short, I found a guy in a public hopper called Mr. Raz T, and I remember him giving me a good race. And I reached out and I said GG, and I saw in his bio that he used to race for Krypton in the Online Racing Association. That's how I found it, basically. And I also found some old footage of him doing racing as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this thing was just absolutely undrivable, despite like what it looks like. This thing was just awful. But yeah, I could even, like, I have his old livery as well, to be fair. There was a time, we're still teammates now, technically. He never left, he's just moved on, but he's got like 2 daughters now. He never used to when he was doing it. I think that was me trying to dodge someone. But yeah, the lag in this lobby was hilarious. I don't know why the text in this replay is different, but the lag in this just hits different. The lag in this absolutely hits different. Like, I didn't mean to back out the ray, but basically you could hit something, nothing would happen, and you see zoom at like 1 billion mile an hour into like the ditches. It was hilarious. I still have some other tag footage. There was one at Indianapolis, I remember. What was the last? This was one of the last replays I ever saved. It was around this time where everyone started moving over to the Xbox One. It was around this time, and this was S-Class tag. And I had the GTR. I don't know why I did this car, but I definitely remember dodging someone through a wall ride, and I think that's why I saved it. Paudy's seen all this footage loads of times because I have so many fond memories. Like, this game is my childhood. I started on Gran Turismo, I basically got competitive in Forza, I perfected my craft in iRacing, and I've just stuck with Forza since. I'm going to bed. Good night, boss. Take care, Kaiser. Have a good night. Thank you. Bonne nuit. But this game this team that if you want to go by like tenure, I have been in my own team for half of my lifespan. I started this team when I was 13. I started competitively when I was 15. I'm 28 now. I don't know why I hit restart on the replay, but alright. But yeah, I have been part of the same team. I've never left. I've never joined anyone else. I've stuck with this team for the last, like, 13 years of my life. 14, 15 years of my life. That's how much this game specifically means to me. It literally set me up. It got me through so much of a rough patch when I was growing up as well. It was just after I started doing comp that my parents started going through a divorce. That took like 7 years to settle, and this is how I took my mind off it. It was the one thing that I was actually kind of good at. You could put me in Call of Duty or Halo, I am abysmal. I am abysmal at shooters. Sports games I'm okay, but driving games are my quote-unquote bread and butter, I like to think. Like I said, I started in Gran Turismo, specifically 4. I started in Gran Turismo 4, I remember. Played a lot of 3, got into 1. If you're interested, join my Discord. I have a load of old I have a lot of old playthroughs and stuff. So what I usually do on this channel is I usually do playthroughs. Monday and Tuesday are for playthroughs, but most of the time we do like racing games here. I've just finished a playthrough of Enthusia Professional Racing, for example. I've just finished that just last week. And I've got a playthrough vote. I don't want to do a racing game next time. I really want to do something else while I, you know, try and... I want to try and do something else while I, like, try and get a couple of extra games in my backlog to pick up. Something like that. And, what else is there? There's... Yeah, this game, it means so much to me. If I showed you I still have my original copy of FM4. It's well loved. In fact, I'll show you. This is the game I've played the most growing up. Like, ever. It's not even just, like, growing up. It's just ever. The amount of time I've spent on this game in my lifespan, probably not as high as some people's, but it's definitely up there. Let me see if I can pull up my profile quickly. Again, this is an original save. This is an original day one save. I've never changed it. I've never altered it. I've only ever added to it. I do. I don't mind sports games. A lot of my other favorite games are usually one-offs. Say Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, probably one of my all-time Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm not averse to trying other games. I've played a lot. I even put myself through Driver for a playthrough. The only games I'm not really keen on are zombie or survivals. I'm not big on those. They're probably like my I don't touch. I'll play a couple of spooky games, like scary games. I'll play a couple of those, mostly like more psychological than like physical horror. But I do play a variety of everything. It's just I grew up in a very car-centric family. Do you count Rocket League as a multiplayer game? I feel like that would count as a multiplayer game, but I play a lot of multiplayer. But I don't tend to play specifically things like MOBAs or anything like that. Which gen? Dodge Viper. I am a very big fan, partially of the second gen. And the fourth gen. The third gen can get in the bin. It's so ugly. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a car built for it somewhere, probably. Where I know it's a drift. I built it as a drift car. This one. I like this. It's this one or the Gen 4. Yeah, the second gen's and the fourth gen. The third gen can get in the bin. Like, in fact, I actually have from I think it was their last ever race, 2014 Petite Le Mans. A friend of mine went and he sent me a signed, like, number 93 card signed by all 6 of the Viper drivers at the time. This is before they pulled out. And I still have, like, an entry ticket that they found on the floor, and they sent that in there as well, along with, like, a signed Viper thing. It was really, really neat of them. I'm still friends with that person. But, yeah, 4th gen, 2nd gen. The only exception to the 3rd gen, I guess, that I don't mind, and it's just purely on visual, not on performance. The only one I don't mind is that one. That's the only one This? What the fuck is this? Dodge. Ew. It's not a Viper. That I could just about tolerate. Just about. Well, the whole engine was. I also quite like the GTSR, or the Comp Coupe, depending on what you want to call it. GTSR, Comp Coupe's effectively the same car. But I do quite like the Comp Coupe as well. But yeah, 3rd gen can get in the bin. I'm not a big fan. I've seen a real life RT Viper, by the way. I have seen an RT Viper in the UK, Gen 1. Not my cup of tea. I think if you could change the rims, put a roof on it, maybe you'll facelift some of the parts, sure, you might get away with it. But yeah, it has to be the 2nd or 4th gen. I don't think it could be anything else. At least for me. I'm also quite partial to the Spirit RRX7 specifically. Yes, when they said, oh, you can't run a V10, but it doesn't say here I can't do this, and they took out, what was it, 2 cylinders to make it a V8 in the 10-cylinder engine block. I remember that. I definitely remember that. That was quite funny. But yes, I do remember that. It was at Nürburgring 24, they dominated one year, and to try and nerf the car, they basically said, right, you can only use this much fuel or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly. I know a guy did a video on YouTube about it. But yeah, the GTSR was incredibly successful for Chrysler, because it wasn't even a Dodge over here. It's a Chrysler Viper, if you want to be pedantic about it, because we didn't have the brand Dodge. Yeah. 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 Yeah, they just took front 2-cylinder and they ran it as an 8-cylinder. Yeah, to get around the rules at the time. They wanted to nerf the Viper, so that's we found a very ingenious way around it. Kudos to them. Incredible thinking. Shame their F1 career wasn't as successful as their GT, but I can respect it. In fact, I believe there is a rendition of a Zack Speed Viper in the game, if I remember correctly. It's the 126 one. I don't actually know which one this ran in, but it's the 2003 one. This one's the 2001 Raker one, so this is the one that everyone remembers almost from, like, Gran Turismo, pretty sure. Very similar to it. But there's the 2003 one, which is literally just a... It's literally just a paint swap. But they also seem to make it a lot slower. Yeah. They gave him a 1-lap penalty as well. But yeah, that's a Viper that they made. I don't know which one it is. There used to be a couple more in the older games, like the I can't remember what teams they were, but I remember one had eyelashes and was sponsored by Chiro, and it looked fucking awful. But yeah, I remember this being in the game. For some reason, they dropped a few mile an hour off it. Couldn't tell you why. Not as fast as the 91 one, but the Team Raker is the one that everyone remembers. If you play Gran Turismo 3, you definitely remember it. Only 1.1 mil. I have 192 million on this game, all of it legitimately earned. Pro Drive. I competitively raced one of those back in the day, but yes, they are here. There's 2. I believe these are made by Pro Drive anyway, but, or at least assembled by. Just palette swaps, really. Both of them. Yeah, I remember. And this is also one of the very few games that actually has this car, which was a monumental flop in real life. This car was incredibly bad that they didn't even acknowledge its existence half the time. But it's one of the very few games that has it, if you got the DLC back in the day. Lola was pretty quick, though. Although, to be fair, I remember when they added this as DLC and everyone lost it. Everyone lost it. In fact, I believe the Lola one it is. I think the only time it actually raced, yeah, the only time it was actually permitted to. But yeah, I believe on the Forza YouTube channel, I remember this. There was a time where they got, it wasn't this one specifically, they had the number 18 one, the white and blue one. But they used that as the engine audio for this car, and they just changed the livery on it. But they added this as DLC, and I remember when everyone lost it because they added, and you can see the dyno footage somewhere on the Forza YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's Forza that did the YouTube channel for it, and you've also got the C9 as well. The engine, the only downside, right? The only downside is that the 962 doesn't really sound like the 962. Cheers, Demi. I will consider that. Oh, Maniac. Surviving for you, so yeah. But yeah. This thing was fast, doesn't turn. It really doesn't like cornering, but it also has a slightly off engine note. This car has a very unique engine note that a lot of places don't seem to be able to replicate particularly much for some reason. The only game that apparently has got the engine note right for this car is Project Cars 2, I think it is. They are the only ones that have ever got the engine note correct for this car. This just sounds like a slightly older 911 basically, which isn't how this car sounds, because it's a very weird sounding car. Sounds more like a diesel almost. It's weird to say that, but it sounds more akin to like a truck diesel than it does a petrol V flat six. I don't know about Assetto Corsa. I haven't actually played it, so I can't comment. But I know out of experience, Project Cars 2 got the engine note right. Out of experience, but I can't comment for Assetto Corsa. But I can tell you that in this game, it sounds like a dual down 911, which is just not how this car sounds. And the first person that would tell me that is one of my old teammates, who's not at the team anymore. One of my favourite cars of the time was this. I absolutely have a massive soft spot for this car. Probably because of my memories with Gran Turismo, maybe. But this car's grown on me a lot over the years. But I love the TS090. AMS2 uses probably. Yeah. I also like that this had like your big three from Gran Turismo. I think it's one of the very few racing games opposite that did. Because you got the R390 here as well. But the TS020 was like the fastest of the three, but it also had the worst tyre wear. The 787 was the most consistent. This was always your biggest headache, though. The R390 GT1. I'm so mad that the short tail version has never been recreated in any other game apart from the one game where all the obscure cars were and then disappeared. And that was Gran Turismo 2. That is the only game I can think of that has the short tail version of the R390. I cannot think of any other version of any game that has the road car and the race car short tail versions before the 1998 remake, like overhaul, where they made it a long tail. Because it used to be a short tail car. It used to be very, very short. And then in 1998 they long tailed it. I guess to try and match the McLaren F1 actually, because the McLaren did something very, very similar back in the day, from what I remember, with the long tail. It's just a great car. It's one I'd love to go see in person, and unfortunately it's all over in Japan, and I can't afford to go. I'd love to. I would absolutely love to go to Japan. It is on my bucket list of like places to go. I have a friend that lives in Kochi over there, which is about 4 hours out from Tokyo by train. But I have a friend that lives in Kochi over in Japan, and I'd like to go meet him. But yeah, the same with the McLarens. They had some very short tail cars, and they made it a long tail, which is the ones that everyone knows. And it's very, very uncommon that the short tails get acknowledged. The Ueno Clinic one, you might remember. But yeah, this game just has... I remember when they had more versions of the... The funny thing is, I have slight PTSD with this car because of Gran Turismo 4 Prologue, which is something I only played for the first time a few years ago. But in Gran Turismo 4 Prologue, this car was basically the bane of your existence. You had to do 10 laps of Fuji without going off the track or hitting anyone. I very vividly remember that. I wish all of my widgets... It's still annoying me that all my widgets are broken. I need to look into how to fix that, but I can't do that today. But ironically, do you want me to tell you something really funny? The Panos Esperante GTR1, you know, the car that is like the big V8 monster in Gran Turismo, that had the sponsorship for Road Atlanta, which never appeared in any Gran Turismo until it was added to GT7. The Panos Esperante GTR had a sponsor for a track location that the game never had for at least 4 mainline series before it was brought actually into the series. And the one time that track has made an appearance, that car's not in the game. It's quite funny. Actually, speaking of, this has a very obscure Panos. It's got the Abruzzi. I can't remember, like, I know some people have a really big soft spot for this car. Some people have a really big soft spot for this car. But again, it's a car I've never seen in any other video game. Obviously, the panels everyone thinks of is like this one, or the GTR one, but it's never the Abruzzi. It's just a strange car, really. It's just a very strange car. It looks so weird. Keep again, they also had like the racing Zonda as well. It looks the same from the front. Doesn't surprise me. Also the old DTM cars as well. This one would have raced at the 24 Hours of Nürburgring by looking at the Zurich banner on the car. Astra V8. Cool looking car. I also like that this game actually tried to do a decent representation of GT300. In fact, there's one series game category I wish got more attention, and that was Japanese GT. Like specifically JGTC, Super GT. Specifically those. And I know Project Cars 3 has just had its Japanese prototypes pack, which was not originally called that, but the Japanese prototype pack, that's just come out. But I don't fancy playing Project Motor Racing for that. I love the cars, don't get me wrong, but I want to drive the actual, I want to drive like the weird obscure GT300 cars. Like I'm talking the Mooncraft Shiden, like the Lotus Evora MC, the 86 MC, the CRZ GT, like GT300, just all the weird and fun cars that will never get attention in a game like this. Ever. As far as I know, the Mooncraft Shiden is currently residing at the Petronas headquarters in Malaysia. It's the furthest thing I remember last hearing about it, because they basically said as part of like sponsoring the car and getting them through the season, they took the only chassis back with them to their headquarters. I'm pretty sure it's in Malaysia. That's the last I've heard. It may have moved. Same with the Gillet Vertigo. I believe it's currently in a Dutch dealership from when I last checked in like 2021, 2022. It was sitting in a Dutch dealership somewhere, but that's the last thing I remember about it. It's just weird where all these weird and wonderful cars go and they just get forgotten because they're just not of the time. Like they're of the time. Like this was a brand new car at the time. It's now completely obsolete. Everyone talks about the AMG GTR, but no one it's got a legacy. It's nice to have it in the game. Slow as shit, but so is the Z4, and everyone loved the Z4. So what do I know? I just have a penchant for like the niche and obscure, very weird cars that I just wish more games took advantage of. And I don't know if it's just because they're more obscure, they're harder to license. Yes, they did. Two guys, I think there were two teams. They ran a Z4 there and the M3 Touring. Yeah, a 15-year-old race car probably does that to you, to be completely honest. But hey, you can drive it reliability woe-free in Forza Motorsport 4 because it's right there for you to pit. It's also for the funniest BMW Sports Trophy, so it's... Oh yeah, everyone was joking about them building it, so BMW went, okay, joke's on you, we'll actually build it. So they went and built it. To be fair, I remember driving the Audi R8. It's very icky. I don't like the handling of the R8. I couldn't tell you why. But I was happy when they added this car. I was happy when they had this because it's a really cool looking car. First game to have it was Gran Turismo PSP, and then GT5, and then this, and then Gran Turismo 6 had it as well. I remember specifically wanting the PlayStation version because I loved the livery on it, but it was like 5 million credits in Gran Turismo 5, and I could never afford it. And that's just like 6 different versions of a touring, like, well, 5, I guess, 5 different versions of that. Then they had the brand new, for the time, R18 TDI, the very successful R15, the 2008 R10 that I remember from Grid, Race Driver Grid, wasn't quite this one. Hatsune Miku Z4. Aren't they a Mercedes team nowadays? I'm pretty sure Good Smile Racing are a Mercedes team these days, but their driver lineup with Nobuteru Taniguchi and Tetsuya Kataoka hasn't really changed over the years. Are they doing Spa this year? I always seem to see Team Good Smile go to the Spa 24. I always see Team Good Smile Racing go to the Spa 24. I don't know if they're doing it this year. But I know that Nobu Taniguchi and Tatsuya Kataoka are very much still the driver pairing for the Hatsune Miku car, because they're sponsored by Good Smile, who... Yeah, I'm pretty sure they used to run a BMW back in the... I think they've had a few brands, to be fair, but it was a BMW... Yeah, I mean, it would. Aerodynamically, that wagon isn't great, but it had the platform of the... what was it? The Is it the M4 competition? Like, race car that they did the platform on? Something like that? I can't remember. I think they built it on the M4 platform, but because obviously it's a wagon, it's a lot harder to be... It's, like, stupid, but yeah, it was quite... I still haven't forgotten that, I still haven't forgotten that video of Jens Klingsman singing "Dut Dut 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 Max Verstappen" when he got passed by Max onto the Dottinger Ho. I found that quite funny. But yeah, I still remember him singing that in the car. I think that went a bit viral. But yeah, the fact he sang it in the car was great. Fun fact, you might not know this, or maybe you do, but Kazunori Yamauchi is a 2-time class winner of the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. The producer of Gran Turismo. He is a 2-time class winner. It's ridiculous to say, because I think he did that in his 50s. Early 50s, I think he did that, which is just insane to me. And, fun fact, Takuma Miyazono, who's one of the GT World Series drivers, competed at NURB this year with Ring Racing by Toyo Tires, or Toyo Tires with Ring Racing, one of the two. And he jumped in their Supra and was apparently very, very quick for Miyazono. I remember that. Obviously, everyone knows that Jimmy Broadbent and Misha were in a car together. Everyone knows. I think Misha recently drove the Dacia, actually. Just the weekend just gone. He drove the Dacia in NLS 6. But, fun fact, I actually once got into a Twitter beef with Brendan Lee, one of the F1 esports champions, who says the only thing I was good at is burnout. I'm not going to comment, considering how he drove in a few of those races, but let's not talk about that. Quick dude, but yeah, he had an attitude on him back in the day. Yes, he did. He did, yeah. The R35 visuals look very Gran Turismo 5 prologue-ish-esque, you can tell. And that was just Polyphony Digital in general, to be fair. But then again, Kazunori Yamauchi was also the reason why the Isuzu 4200R, was it, got even put into Gran Turismo. Standard car, obviously, but he was the reason how they even got it back into Gran Turismo. Which is insane to me. It's just the power of video games. I don't think people come to appreciate it until it's too late, what video games can do, especially for, like, long forgotten cars. Like, does anyone even talk about the F458 anymore? Like, even the F430, does anyone even talk about it? Like, even this, I still remember this bloody thing. In fact, I have one painted in the GTLM spec colours. It's just, like, no one talks about these cars anymore. I'm pretty sure... If I could have a Viper, I would. But if I had to go money, no object, I want a 2000 GT Toyota. And I know that sounds like a really dumb thing to say, but I'd love one of these. I would love one of these cars. I don't know what it is. They've just grown on me over the years. I don't know what it is, but I would absolutely love one. I could never afford it, realistically. But I would absolutely adore one of these if I could ever get it. I have no idea how unreliable this thing would probably be. But it's iconic in its own way. They're like 750,000 now, I think, on average. We have the Escudo at home. Yes, I remember. I've done a. I know you're trying to say hopeless, but I have done a playthrough of Gran Turismo 4. If you're interested, didn't this replace the Escudo? I believe it was it was driven by Monster Tajima, yes, but no one talks about this. No one talks about this. They only talk about the Escudo. They don't even talk about the Cultus, which was twin-engined. The Cultus was a twin-engine car, and they don't talk about it, but no, they don't talk about this here. They don't talk about this either. They only talk about this because of Weedy Glitch. It had its peak in Gran Turismo 3. Even in Gran Turismo 7, what does the Escudo do? It's basically just there at this point. It doesn't actually really have a purpose, the Escudo. Which is a shame, but I wish they added more Group B cars to Gran Turismo. Like, I've done many playthroughs. Like I said, I recommend... Yes, because I believe the Escudo never won Pikes Peak anyway. It won a few other hill climb cars, but the Escudo that is represented in Gran Turismo, the 1998 version, I believe it is, the 98 or 99, were comically awful in real life, but they did win other rallies, but it never won Pikes Peak. And all the parts that were... Yes, there was the Pacific Racing Uma Musume, which is this year, actually. The Uma Musume Pacific Racing car is here. Technically, you have 3 if you want to class the Max Sayaka. If you want to count the Max Sayaka car, which was based on the Speed Racer manga, obviously. But yeah, I also remember that BMW... Yeah, for Uma Musume, it's this year. It went viral because it was sponsored by Hont's game. But yeah, I do remember. And it's just weird how some of these cars have weird claims to fame. Ironically, Forza has a Chaparral that Gran Turismo never had, and that was the 2E. Forza got the 2E Chaparral, but it never had the 2D or the 2J. Probably a good thing, because that 2J would probably be bloody broken. I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that. Paulie's big on, like, games like that. He's big on Uma Musume, Azure Lane. I do remember seeing that. But yeah, I just wish some more racing games would just acknowledge, like, some of the more obscure, like, iconic cars are nice. But I want more, I want games that go down the obscure. Also, the Marine Kitagwa, which one? Yes, I remember that one. Yeah, I don't. 24 Hours of Fuji isn't Super GT. It's Super Taikyu, if I remember right, which is the endurance series in Japan. It's also where Spoon Racing do a lot of their racing, to be fair, and Opera Performance. You'll find a lot of tuning companies and tuning garages competing in Super Taikyu, but the GT3s are there as well for some reason. I like when they push the boat out, and I think that's why Gran Turismo 2 for car variety is one of my favourites. Because they're all very obscure, weird, funky cars that have never appeared again. Like, 95% of them have not appeared in another game. Okay, maybe 90%, but even so. But a lot of games are done for of the time, in the moment, like, of the last year or two, something extremely relevant. But it's never the fun or obscure stuff, it's just what's big. Like, obviously, Forza has very, very close ties with the ALMS at the time, the American Le Mans Series. That's how they got the Abruzzi, the McLaren, and whatever. That's how they got most of that. But I know there's a Japanese arcade machine in Japan where they did Super GT machines. Obviously, Gran Turismo for Super GT, as it were, is kind of like your benchmark, like your... But have I ever told you about how badly I've been trying to find a mod pack for a game where I can go and drive the Mooncraft Shiden or the RX-7 on an actual sim where I actually care? Because, like, there's a game I play called Race Room Racing Experience. It's on PC. One of the only games I can think of that has the P45 Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus car. The 330p4 recreation. If you remember it, it ran around the same time as Kazunori at the Nürburgring, actually, to be fair. But I very much remember it was like a recreation of the 330p4 in a modern GT. It was awesome, and it was the only game I could find that had it. It was the first car I bought for that game, funnily enough. It's the first car I bought, and it's the only game I can think of that has it. And no one really talks about SCG either. Probably because he's not great, but very big online personality, I would say. Yeah, I know. The problem is I don't own a Assetto Corsa. That's the problem. And if I do, I'd have to play it realistically on a wheel. I need to mount the pedals into the floor. Not the floor, the stand. I need to mount the pedals into the stand because it keeps moving. It's a terrible experience with the way I have it at the minute. Breaking my foot just to go through the throttle. But yeah, I know Assetto Corsa has mods for like pretty much anything. I'd have to check, but the problem is I quite like Steam Workshop. I don't think Ace. Yes, it is. It is a very, 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 very old Thrustmaster base. That wheel is 13 years old. This save file is 15 years old. I've never had the money to upgrade that wheel since. In fact, for a while I couldn't even sit and play it because I moved out 4 or 5 years ago to where I currently live now, and I didn't even have a chair. Like Paulie will vouch, I was playing on my sofa for the most part, and I couldn't set that up because I didn't have a good stand, and it was just awful to play on. So I got that stand this year, but my wheel is 13 years out of date at this point. It no longer receives like driver support or anything like that from Thrustmaster. It stopped in 2024. So I need a new wheel. I need to upgrade the whole setup there anyway. The stand is okay, but it's the actual wheel module. In fact, when I got it back out, I had to start cleaning some rust off it. Well, it's a T300 RS. So it wasn't like a cheap wheel either. When I got it brand new, it was a T300 RS. It wasn't a cheap wheel when I got it though. It's probably not worth a lot now, but yeah. That's the original release of the that's the original release of the T300 RS. Not the re-revision. That's the original. You probably have the V2. That's the V1. I'm pretty sure they re-released the T300 RS at some point. But yeah, that's the original, which doesn't get that much driver support anymore. Which one is it? The GT edition? Oh, you got like the re-revision, but I would. No, this map sucks. Yeah, this is just a PlayStation 1. It's not the GT one. It's I can't really hold it, but yeah, this is the PlayStation 1, so it's not very good. It's very old. The GT revision, yeah, came out like a couple of years ago. This one has not had the same love. I'll have to sort that out later. It's screwed up my floor and mat now, so I can't really move. Obviously, I'm streaming again tomorrow. I do need to get going because I've got a long day ahead of me. I've got to travel out for work tomorrow, so I do need to get off. But if you've liked talking and listening to me yap, I stream 4 days a week. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. Oh yeah, it's one of the best wheels. Same with the G29. Same with the G29. I work for a secondhand tech store, so I see them all the time. I never see these, but I see G29s regularly. I'd like to go to a direct drive of some sort, but they're expensive and I don't earn a lot of money. If you like hearing me yap though, I stream 4 days a week. Yeah, it's very clunky. I've driven on a G29. It's not the worst. You could pass with it if you got used to it, but the T300 RS is like very coggy. I remember turning the force feedback up because I like being able to actually feel what the car was doing. But yeah, I need to figure that out again at some point. I turning the force feedback was probably a bad idea. But yeah, I stream 4 days a week. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I'll be live tomorrow at some point. I'll be live. I don't know what I'm streaming. But you can find my stream schedule for the most part. I also do, like, votes, like, for what we're going to play through next. Like I said, the next playthrough is currently going to be, I believe it's a platformer at the moment. But, yeah, if you want to go catch up on my playthroughs, again, they're all on my Discord. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad, man. Like I said, I do have, like, a mini feed. I can see if people follow or not, but I don't know if it'll be this tomorrow. It might be something else, because I tend to jump around on games a lot, but I always enjoy picking up Forza Motorsport 4. Someone kept asking me in my server, was I ever going to play it? The one day I play it, they've not actually jumped on, which is quite funny. But, yeah, I have no idea what tomorrow will bring. I've enjoyed listening to me yap. I like to think I'm pretty yappable. I can chat a load of whatever, topical or not. I'm usually pretty good with chatting. I usually do best when people are conversing in the chat, to be fair. I don't like quiet chats. They don't excite me at all. It's just how I am as a person. But yeah, I will catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you Thursday. And if I don't see you Thursday, I'll see you when I next see you. It's like you can watch Jake May do, literally. I'm like that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I like to try and think that. Like I said, I've got loads of old playthroughs. If you're interested, like I said, I have a server. You can jump in, say hi if you want. I'll drop it here. Give me a sec. I'm always doing something stupid. I'm conversing regularly in my Discord. We talk motorsport, games, memes, whatever. I can just yap. I may not know a lot about a lot of things, but I do know a lot about certain things, so I'm pretty topical in that regard, I suppose. But yeah, I have no idea what tomorrow will bring. We'll figure it out when we get there, but I have a bunch of old playthroughs if you're so inclined to check them out. Drop a follow if you really want. Hello, I see you. Nice. But yeah, hopefully, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it. Hazy Breeze as well for the follow. Super appreciate it. See what tomorrow brings. I also forgot I have... Oh my god. I forgot I have this. Oh, quickly show this chat. I just forgot. I forgot I have this. I forgot I have the Horizon 2 360 demo that we could play at some point. I have the demo for Horizon 2 on my 360. I've never played the 360 version. I downloaded a bunch of demos before the store went down. It's the only reason I have it. I'm just surprised it was there as an option still, so I went and got it. It's just ridiculous, really. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. But yeah, I had best get going. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. So I will catch you all tomorrow if I can, and I will... Yeah. The Xbox One version servers are shut. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't think any of the servers work anymore. Unfortunately. It got shut a couple of years, like last year or a year before. I can't remember when. But I'm pretty sure the whole thing's gone down now. You can only play offline. I'm pretty sure. 3 just offline. Pretty sure. For the Horizon 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I haven't booted it up since the day before the servers went down. I tried to play with a friend, but the servers were just not having it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just an offline experience now, unfortunately, from what I know. Time for YouTube, Lamau. There's loads of playthroughs. I'm sure you'll find one. But yeah, I have a bunch of vroom vroom beep beep honk. Sweet. Right, I need to go. Hope you enjoy. I'll probably yap a little bit in Discord before I go to sleep, and catch you all there. See you tomorrow. Good night.